conversation with the people who were speaking poorly to the Stephen A. clip, that man who could not say who after it was mentioned the three things Democrats did beautifully in the last 30 years, that man then pivoted and said none of those things matter or none of those things meet the criteria, like that, pilled. I can't. You're lying. They're lying. That's all we know how to do is lie. You cannot tell the truth.
Thank you. Oh, let me just clear. Norm, before you were kicked out the other day, you said I was an anti-Semite. Can you give me the three things that I did that make me anti-Semitic?
You addressing me again?
Yeah. You said before you got kicked out.
Oh man, listen. I don't remember our conversations of the other day. I don't think of you as an anti-Semite. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
All right, cool. Huh? That's fair. That's fair. But when you called me that, I was surprised. Anybody? Thank you. Anybody else want to?
I think you're thinking of somebody else, to be accurate. You have no shortage of flaws, but anti-Semite is not one of them.
And do you have a shortage of flaws?
Yours. Huh? Slightly shorter than yours.
You had 40 years on me to improve them.
I think you'd like to. I'm sure you'd like to. See, there's one of your flaws right there. I'm sure you'd like to believe that.
Yeah.
And if it makes you feel better to believe that, go right on ahead. There's no charge.
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, so now you're lying. So the other day before...
Heavens to Betsy. Well, thank God you would never do such a thing.
I got you. So you said that I was an anti-Semite.
You still no, I never said that. And it's not the case. No, you're full of shit.
Okay, so
you may be a liar, but you're not an anti-Semite.
Okay. What's your name? You called us all anti-Semite.
1 second. Hold on. You're not even involved, girl. What's going on? So hold on. The other day, when you got kicked out...
Well, what do? You get bored, and then you lose an argument, and then you kick somebody out, and then you make up stuff like... This is your life now?
So
you want to match your wits against me and lose every time and then kick me out? Like, so think of something better to do, man.
Well, I'm working on my book.
Okay.
So I'm doing editing.
Because that's a worthwhile thing to do.
I know, so I'm doing this to pass the time. What are you doing? What are you doing at the time?
I'm cooking breakfast for my son.
Cool. So you cook breakfast for your son?
Uh-huh.
Are you in Hawaii?
Why?
Because it's 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 drinks. That was interesting.
So you want to come over? Are you angling for an invite?
No, I was asking about the 4 p.m., that's all.
What would you like to know about 4 p.m.?
Who eats breakfast at 4 p.m.?
Some people like to eat breakfast in the afternoon. Is that a problem for you?
I didn't say it was. I was just asking.
I don't know. So I don't know. You seem to be doubling down on breakfast in the afternoon.
We got people. One second. We got people. I gotta close the stage. You guys gotta close the stage. You got all these fellas. 1 second. All right, cool. No, that's okay. But when you said the other day, I was surprised. But we can move on. We don't have to.
Not my position. I think you either misheard or you had me confused with somebody.
So a lot about it, but it's okay.
Really? Did you poll them or something?
I can. Was anybody in here? One second. Was anybody in here?
Yeah, what were the circumstances?
I can tell you what the circumstances were.
Yeah.
We were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Because stop speaking. What you're doing now? What are you doing?
You know what? You're just trying to be annoying. You're succeeding.
Okay.
Is this all you have to do with your time is be annoying?
Ask him a question. He's trying to answer it.
What do you want to ask me? What? What do you want to ask me?
Oh, wow. He's mocking me for saying ask.
Did you ever engage in known before?
Listen. What's going on?
He just mocked you for saying ask.
It's all right. It's all right.
Did you hear that?
Not mockery.
Listen.
Well, why would you mock her? She wasn't involved.
I'm asking if you've ever had a sane conversation with Norm.
Sure. If you're sane, you get sane.
Every once in a while, he'd say. All right. So I'm not sure why I'm being overtalked.
My apologies first.
Yeah, it's rude. And somebody's okay. So El Normo.
Yeah.
He's asking you a question. I mean, he's speaking.
You want to ask another dozen times?
What's wrong? Okay, so if you're not gonna have a conversation, then
we had the conversation. You want to have it again? Is it you're that bored?
Okay. All right. Well, have a good day, because I'm not gonna throw.
It's a great day.
And I want you to have.
Too.
I want you to have a perfect one.
I want you to as well.
Happy Mother's Day. because you're definitely acting like you're on your period today. I don't know what crawled in your cereal, and I don't know who pissed in it, but whoever did it, that's who you should be mad with. I don't know if you didn't get a chance to sleep with one of your ladies last night, but I didn't wake up with you this morning. So please, there's no need to be rude to me. I am not being rude to you, sir. It's no need for that. And I'm not going to deal with it on this wonderful Sunday, especially Mother's Day weekend. How dare you speak to me in such a way? I will not tolerate it, sir. I'm just not going to do it. Because I will call 911 on your ass. Okay? Not Karen. Yes. I'm going to get very Karenish. Because clearly that's getting a lot of money. I know. Today, and then when you blocked Crazy Guy the other day, you get money, girl. Stop counting the coins. That's what's going on. Listen, I'm your accountant over here. Just no. I'm watching for you. So that's the reason why I really trashed y'all, because everybody was trying to get their money out. Anyway, so what's the conversation? Where are we? Brooke was saying something, and then everything kind of went to hell. Yeah. You know, I don't have to talk. Yeah, go ahead.
So what I was saying, it's fine from Britt, but she was saying how she doesn't really believe voters when they say they want a thing. And I think that's probably true, which is why I think the Democratic Party should really stop doing the outreach that it does to black voters. I know people will disagree, but they probably should stop. I mean, they should do the normal thing. They should not do anything. I'm not saying they shouldn't outreach at all. I mean, they should just, we don't need the black. Maybe they should stop Black Democrats Associations. Maybe they should stop having black caucuses. They should stop all types of stuff.
But that sounds very true. Are you being real? Yes, I can. That's what I'm saying. Blacks beg forward, though. This is the. I get it. But is that beneficial? To me, saying that sounds just like Stephen A. Smith telling everybody to vote Republican. You're saying that we'll get more if they act like they don't want us. No, he's just saying don't waste your energy on them because they stupid and all they do is sit there and complain and then try to put it back on the Dems. So instead of trying to chase their vote, go and get somebody else's vote. Well, at least that's how I understand it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, the movie says get rid of Black History Month. Why not? Why have black politicians? What benefit do black politicians get out of commemorating moments or personages in African American history at this point? In fact, all they get out of it is negative. They're called panderers and everything else. Look, he's like, it's the shortest month. It's the shortest month because it was a week. It was the week where Lincoln and Frederick Douglass were a black man started. It's not because it didn't start as a month. The movie just stopped. But anyway, why not? What benefit did they get? They gave the old people the kente cloths. The CBC, I think it was, told them to do the kneel. They did it. Nancy Pelosi still gets mocked to this day. Just stop. I mean, ain't gonna be no CBC this time next year anyway. They have the members. So what's the point? Just at the federal level.
Is this a real conversation or you're just kidding? You're just kidding? Well, the gerrymandering.
Never mind, bro.
No, I'm just Lisa, the gerrymandering. Remember, the gerrymandering is getting rid of the black seats. 24 hours about it. We were up for 24 hours talking about gerrymandering. As far as like getting rid of black history and things like that, I celebrate. That was my question. I was just kidding. Somebody wrote it in the chat. That's what he was responding to. Oh, okay. Because I said the movie wrote it in the chat. Okay, the movie. I was thinking what you were right. I guess you're kidding the movie because it's just more and more of us just laying down. I mean, it's just forget everything. Half the time the kids don't even know what you're fucking talking about anyway when you try to talk to them about what our ancestors went through. Aside from talking about slavery, we have so much more to talk about. That's
see if you can let me respond.
I can't even respond, so you can take.
Is that the movie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sweetheart. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the phone. I don't know your voice, so if you can just explain. And I'm not trying to cut people off. I'm just trying to get clarity of what you were saying.
Yes, ma'am. I didn't want to interrupt y'all. You know, there's been a lot of people interrupting each other. That's why I just made my points in the chat or whatever. There's actually 2 points to it. I don't know if y'all are familiar when Morgan Freeman had an interview with a reporter, and he was Jewish, and he asked the reporter, why you don't have a Jewish holiday? And he says, I don't want one. He says, I don't need them. Well, I know about Hanukkah, but we're talking about like how they do Black History Month, and that's what Morgan Freeman is saying.
History Month. They celebrated at the White House.
Oh.
And then they have Seder dinners and special dinners for Jews at the White House. Donald Trump just did it, the guy you like, and Mark Levin came up and called him the first Jewish president. But I've heard that. I've heard that. Often tell us how Jewish people don't get celebrated. Do you?
Right. No. What I was just speaking on this specific interview, and Morgan Freeman, he asked, well, how do you get rid of racism? He says, just stop. Don't bring it up.
You're right.
No, I'm not saying it'll work. What I'm saying is just opinions can be infiltrated. It's just like they have an experiment called the black doll, white doll, and they gave the children a white doll and a black doll. Which one looks better? The white doll. It's just like the Ash experiment. These experiments been going on, just like you had the syphilis thing with the Tuskegee Airmen, and Bill Clinton just I think he apologized for it in '96 or 2000. I can't remember when he apologized for the experiment. I'm saying all that to say, I remember the days if you voted, it was nobody's business. Now, if you like a candidate better than the other one, you're a racist. You just want him. All I did was look at 2 snakes, because all of them are snakes, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's just like when I went to court one time, my defense attorney's over there having lunch with the prosecutor. So all of them work together. My problem with it is just like when we have a difference of opinion, now you're racist. And in Memphis, they have a black Republican woman that's finna beat out this gay white man who's been there 20 years. And nobody speaks to that. It's just like if you have a black Republican, then they're not black. And I don't understand. Okay, 10 more. I only need 10 more. I'm sorry that I get a time limit, like cards, but also like the school. You're right. The school I went to, like Hiram Revels, the first president of Alcorn State. He was one of the first black Republicans representing HBCUs. I land my plane.
Oh, okay. So I just want to go back. You said people call you racist.
No, ma'am, I didn't say that.
What was the racist part? You said the people say that you're racist if you vote a certain way. You didn't say that?
I didn't say that at all. I said I said they disagree with you. I never said. I said get rid of racism by stop talking about. You combine 2 points together. No, I never said that. No, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Yes, you do.
Okay. I'm sure this room will be recorded, and if y'all gonna bring up that clip, I never said you were racist by being a Republican, and just because.
No, that's not what I just said.
No, you said people are accused.
Yeah, you said people are accused of being racist if they vote a certain way.
Oh, yes, ma'am, I did. Yeah, you're accused. I thought you said people. I thought you was just saying people. No, if you go to, like, if I wore a MAGA hat somewhere, you like that racist man, and you should be ashamed of yourself. People get
but that's different than calling you a racist versus saying that he's a racist, right?
No, I would. Okay, listen, ma'am. Listen very good.
I'm just trying
to. If I wear a MAGA hat on here, I will be accused of being racist, liking a racist president in the general statement. That's not my full thinking of. I just watching people get abused if they choose to be with, like the gentleman said, Van said, I know that's the guy you like. It's not that I like, it's just that I preferred him over that woman that was Montel Williams' side chick.
Okay,
I don't trust her.
There you go.
That is a fact, though. She was Montel Williams' side chick.
What does that matter?
That means you're not capable.
Don't you have a pass?
You should be somebody's side.
It's just like the Democratic guy that has.
Excuse me, sir. I'll let you speak.
No, you didn't. You gave me a time clock.
But before the time clock, were you not speaking uninterrupted?
Go ahead
chicken wing thing, okay? I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. And I'm trying to understand the crux of your argument, because a lot of times what I hear is when people are trying to defend their points, they have all these anecdotal experiences, and then they just go, they just go and they flood it all out, and then they just pour. But when we start picking it apart and we start really looking and dissecting specifically in the areas that you're speaking in, then that's when the tables turn, because then they get frustrated. Not saying you, I'm just saying some people that I speak with, they get frustrated in the process when we start breaking it down. So you said about the people call you a thing, okay? So
can you ask me a specific question? Like Van said, can you ask me a specific question that I can answer?
Misa, M-I-S-A.
Misa's hot mic because I'm my leader.
No.
All right. I don't mind at all if you ask me a specific question and give me a chance to respond, I will.
Okay. So why did you say there was no Jewish History Month?
Well, based on the information I've got, I don't hear either like where I've been across the world, and I don't hear about like Jewish month like I hear about Black History Month, and they keep flooding it down your throat.
Are you black?
I'm considered black, but
Okay. Are you Jewish?
no, sir.
Okay.
I think I might have Jewish in me, but I don't know. No, sir.
Are you Asian American, Pacific Islander?
Well, my dad is from South America, so I have West Indies in me.
I said Asian or Asian Pacific Islander.
No.
Okay, cool. So maybe one reason why you don't hear about certain things is because you don't belong to those groups. And some of those groups are very, very small part of the population. Jewish population is less than 2%, and they're really clustered in certain parts of the country. So there's been a federal recognition of Jewish History Month for about 20 years now. Just because we don't know about a thing doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Do you ever go on the White House events calendar by any chance? The movie, are you there? Okay. Listen, that's all I'm saying. We're at a point now where, for whatever reason, trying to do things, if it's not exactly what people want, it actually works against you. I think they should stop trying to do things. That was my point.
And also, I want to say this real quick, and I paused for a second, and I did look up something. I just really quick Google it. They go off a Jewish calendar, and since it's like me trying to figure out the Quran if I've never read it, and it's like Ishmael and Isaac. They're two different religions.
Calendar.
Sir?
I'm talking about the federal government. They've recognized it by Congress in 2000.
Right, and I was just asking like ChatGPT or Google, what exact month is it? And they just kept saying it's like Ramadan. They don't have like February. Like what month is it? November?
It's May. I told you, it's May. I've said it 3 times.
Oh, it's a month of May. I didn't hear you say it. My apologies. I didn't hear you.
It's okay, Demobi. Let me put it in the language you'll understand. It's in wunderschönen. 1 second. I'll put it in the in wunderschönen Monat Mai. How about that? In wunderschönen Monat Mai. I'll put it in German for you. I know that you know German.
That's funny. I have more Portuguese than French. I mean, no German.
Pause. Okay. So it's in May. So, that means with all due respect, why as a man would you listen to Morgan Freeman?
Well, again, it was a great
I hadn't
interview.
finished the question.
Okay.
I hadn't finished the question. Why? You know what? My question doesn't matter. Go ahead, say what you want.
No, I don't idolize or look at. I just intrigued by great interviews, and and I'm glad you said that because our community. Yeah, I thought it was between Morgan Freeman. I can't think of the NBC anchor. He's very good. I think it's from Dateline. They have some very good questions. It's about 10 or 15 years old. It's not something that happened yesterday.
Oh, we've seen that. We just don't.
Okay, but what I was going going to say too, not to go ahead and finish if you wanted to.
No, I said we're from your interview.
Okay. Yeah, and I just thought, but see, I was going to say that's the problem with our community, whether you want to say black community, because I don't really attach to African American. I think that's a made up word made by Al Sharpton or somebody, because we work color.
Stop
Well, I don't
with
know
the
the guy,
side
but
notes.
I just know we were
Stop
black.
with the side notes.
Well, okay. Well, yes, ma'am. I didn't know somebody.
Just trying to follow what you're saying. If
So
you could just
my point is, I saw where a lot of people we look to celebrities, and I don't agree because you don't hear about us talking about a Ben Carson or a Clarence Thomas. We always go like, even if you take whatever her name is, Harris, she had to go get Megan Thee Stallion to shake her ass. Like, we look for celebrities. We don't look for like a Condoleezza Rice, a Colin Powell. Those are all so-called Uncle Toms or something in the media that I grew up in. It's just like when they had rainwater and all that bullshit. So I just look at, we use celebrities as an anchorage, as you're like, who they got? Little Kim, not Little Kim, what's her name? Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. One is Democrat, the other one is with the Republican. They hate
what
Nicki.
about Amber Rose?
Amber Rose, I think, what side is she on? I mean, that's what I'm saying. We use it.
The Republican side.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, hold on, let me get
Okay, go ahead.
20 more seconds. 20 more seconds.
Yes,
The man who started with Morgan Freeman, but he gonna lecture us on.
that's my point.
Hold on. Can I get 20 more seconds? I was saying those are celebrities. I just said that one particular interview brought up some great points. Now, moving forward, we've used celebrities for everything. Lil Wayne is on things to listen to. When I'm saying, why don't we listen to a Ben Carson, a Clarence Thomas speaking? Why we a Colin Powell, a Condoleezza Rice? Why do we don't use these people in our vocabulary anymore? I think Ben made a great point. 10 more seconds. He made a good point. He said earlier we were looking towards I can't remember entertainment more. I just can't remember exactly his point. But my whole thing is we look for the entertainment purposes, like a Dick Gregory or something. Malcolm X said it best. We look to entertainers. Well, I land my plane. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. You ain't you're into the entertainers. That's why your name is the movie.
That's very funny. I just like the name because that's what I am. The movie.
And really,
I like your intellectual insults though.
God.
Yeah, I love those intellectual insults.
You got 2 minutes uninterrupted now. Do the same. Be quiet. Go on. Yeah, I'm not going long. So really, golly, I lost my train of thought. One of the things I wanted to say was, I mean, a lot of what he's saying just reminds me, and the things that I've been having all day is that I'm just very concerned about the fact that we American people seem to really be kind of just going off vibes a lot lately. And even as, you know, okay, he was getting information, Van's telling him, oh, okay, there is a Jewish History Month. He's so busy actually going on Google trying to disprove him that he didn't even hear a whole bunch of other stuff. And then came back like, people, that's the other thing that concerns me, is that people think they're getting educated off of, you know, off of ChatGPT now. They think that, they just have access to all the information in the world. They don't know how to process it. When somebody actually is telling you the answer, you can't even listen because you're just so ready to disprove it. You don't want to believe it. You just want to go off your vibes. That's a problem. And I don't know how the Democratic Party does move forward when people just want to go off vibes. Do they just start lying? Would that help? I don't know.
That man wrote in the chat, Democrats want men in sports. He is such an idiot.
They don't? Are you saying they don't? Are you saying they don't? Because it's proof they do. They voted against it.
Give us like 2 minutes of other people for a second.
I'm just saying, I didn't know that Dick Gregory was entertainment. You guys have to learn something new every damn day on this.
He was a comedian, girl.
He's a comedian, but when he's not being funny, he's not being funny. It's like, I'm not going to just look at him as a comedian. He is so much more than that. That's my point.
Yeah, he's definitely an activist, but he does fall in the realm of entertainment. Like, not that his you know, he didn't make a valuable impact entertainment. I think that with the broader.
Well, I think there's entertainer and there's just entertainer. Because I don't think being an entertainer is reductionist at all. I can't be an entertainer.
In the sense that he means it. Understand though, in the sense that he is speaking of that type of performance. He put Dick Gregory in the same entertainment lineup as Megan Thee Stallion. That's what I'm trying to make sure that we're not reducing him to that. That's insane.
So the Morgan Freeman thing I always find funny because Morgan Freeman does black movies for black people. Morgan Freeman is so disingenuous. That clip is 20-some years old. So disingenuous and so fake. This is a man who was humming Negro spirituals in glory and went around the country promoting it, ding, 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 during Black History Month. This is a man who got rich not from doing white movies or American movies, but from being a black guy doing black movies. And that's what's so frustrating about movies is in Black February. It's so phony. But again, why does having a month commemorating and remembering parts of history for people who had been excluded from curriculum, why is that offensive, especially to black people? That's what I can't get my mind around it. I would think more knowledge is better. I never hear the people complaining about having a Black History Month, knowing much Black history. Morgan Freeman doesn't know any Black history. It's just a strange thing.
They teach the same thing over and over. Eli Whitney and Malcolm had a dream. It's over and over repetitive. They don't teach us about Malcolm X, at least not down south. I had to learn that on my own. They didn't teach me about Fred Hampton. I had to learn that on my own, where they killed that young man in his sleep. And it wasn't a white man, it was another black man.
Did you go to college?
And the Democrat Party was against. They the one. I mean, you look at the history of the Democratic Party. It's crazy.
Did you go to college, the movie?
Does it matter if I did? Yes, I went to college.
What did you study?
General studies.
Your major, you got a bachelor's degree?
I just told y'all.
That's what they give you when you've been there a long time and you.
Well, see, the problem is educated single black women think they know everything. 4 black women were in charge of Black Lives Matter and got caught for fraud. They were all gay. Yeah, we understand a liberal black single woman probably got a cat at home.
Am I lying to move? That's what it is.
I just want the refund.
You know, studies degree is.
College don't make me smart.
Okay, but that's just the
college don't make me smart.
Listen.
There's a lot of educated dummies out there.
Come on.
The movie, your voice is amplified, right?
I'm from the country, I know.
Come on. Stop responding every time. Just let the lady finish, man. Come on, bro.
I'm not going to talk about your southern accent, any of that, because I can get real southern right along with you. I'm just saying, and then some of the things that you're saying at a loud tone is going to cause this conversation to crash. So if you would, just be mindful of that for this conversation. Okay, but let's move the mic around because we're just sticking on one person. I understand you want to be in the movie. That's the reason why you call yourself the movie. I get it. You want to create a movie. You want to be on the clip. I understand. But today is not the day. Go ahead, carry on.
So I think actually, to be fair to him, because I actually think even though he's inarticulate and largely uninformed about what he's saying, he actually represents a segment of the populace that, because of their participation or lack thereof, we are where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And so rather than just put it to the side, I'd rather try to pull out something productive. And I heard something he said that was interesting. He said down here, we didn't learn about Fred Hampton and Malcolm X. Well, up here we did. So my question becomes, the movie, why didn't the Republicans who run southern states allow you guys to learn about Malcolm X? They learn about him in the Midwest where he's from. Malcolm X is from Nebraska, works his way up to Michigan. Frederick Douglass wasn't just a pacifist, but used to beat people's ass when he was on the road, even when the garrison. I learned that in Baltimore. So the question becomes, whether he went to college or not.
I can answer when you get.
Okay, so let me ask the question. Why, if we should be Republicans and conservatives, as you're saying, why are they keeping Black history away from Black people, where most Black people live, which is the South? Go ahead, sir.
Okay, first point of order is I'm gonna try to lower my voice. Maybe my microphone is pretty
loud. It's a little loud.
Excuse me for that. Is that a little bit better?
It is. You just have a good mic. It's not you young. You just have a good mic.
Okay. Like I live in a Republican state, Mississippi. We all know it gets 3 electoral votes. Whatever. This is a very poor state.
It gets more than that, but keep going.
Or 5. I'm not trying to be politically correct on it. 6. It's not 10. Can we agree on that?
You can just say 5, but go ahead.
Right. Whatever is below 10, it's very limited. It's very limited. That's my point. I like people that's always on point. That's great. Okay. Yes, the state is Republican, but where I live in Claiborne County, the school system is ran by Black folks. They're all in charge. This what makes where I live at so wonderful, and this is why I never leave. Now, I've traveled the world. I got status support. Actually went to a great prestigious school, Baylor School in Chattanooga, Tennessee. But when I come back home and see how this school is ran, this system is ran, we have a nuclear plant in our county and a college. There's no reason why we should be seen poor over here. We have a nuclear plant in one county in Mississippi. If that nuclear plant goes, the whole SEC is gone. So what I'm saying is, yes, it's a Republican state, but your Democrats down here where I'm at, they run the school system, stole the money. We got taken over by the state, our elementary school. That's why my mom worked so hard to send me away from here. Yes, I'm back at home after college or whatever, but in my years, my grade school year, I don't know shit. It's not their fault, because now they're not teaching them cursive. Shit, they're not teaching you how to even respect the teachers anymore. You can go to school with your phones now. They get out for homecoming, for spring, not even spring break, what they call it, a fall break, another break. They don't, in the system, the school system in Mississippi is so corrupt. Where Madison is, oh man, the football teams, the education is great. That's why a lot of people I know.
You guys don't vote. Lowest voting record in any state, in any of the states. Okay, y'all don't vote, but you got a lot of smoke.
Well, that's what see, that's another good point. That we're too poor to point for vote or don't know. The problem is it is the uneducated system. It's the ignorance. And it is not dumbfounded to understand, like, damn, it's not everybody in the South, because you got some country boys, they very articulate. They got money. Man, I told one dude on the app, I know a guy that got a bow and arrow and a yes, sir. A bow and arrow and a four-wheeler that's worth more than his Lamborghini got. So, yes, we are prejudged on things, but it is a lot of smart people. It's just the system, as you said, about the education. It's not there. To answer your question, Ben, yes, it's a republic state, but they allow the inner city people to run their own people, and it's just not happening. I land.
Okay, cool. So outside of the blue areas where the Republicans run the schools, those students do as well as the students in New Jersey and Massachusetts. It's just the Democrat areas of Mississippi that's behind. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, you know what? I look at Mississippi as a whole. Like when I went to school in Tennessee, all I had to do was take.
Looking at this.
No. Listen.
I'm asking.
I know. I'm going to answer it. What I'm saying is the whole curriculum. The school system in Tennessee, you do 2 histories and 3 Englishes. In Mississippi, you got to do 4 histories and some. And I had to take Mississippi studies back in the senior year.
Pause for a second.
We're too
Pause
far
for a
behind
second.
in the
Pause for a second. Pause for a second. That's not what he's asking. You just said you're looking at Mississippi for the whole. But in your little submission, you were talking about, but the Democrats in our area, they're messing it up. Like, the people under have more control than the full state.
Well, we did get taken over by the state, but then they got their shit together for a little bit. And this Port Gibson High School
the question does the state as a whole do better than the smaller component of your area that you were talking about?
That's subjective because you go to our Saint schools or St. Andrews and Madison Centrals, they're great school systems up there. It's just in my rural area.
Next caller.
Damn, rude, man.
All right. So, Speaker Gregory, you said that I was saying something. I don't know if it was about Malcolm X or the curriculum. You said something I said was wrong. So, could you just correct me? Because I don't like to spread false information. Do you know what I said that was wrong? Can you remind me, brother?
Yes, sir. How you feel, first of all? Walaikum salam. Well, you know what? I think you were wrong about the people here in Chicago knowing about Brother Fred Hampton. But you're right. They should know. And, although his wife and Junior is here, but, you'd be surprised that it's really not perpetuated or taught in the schools. You'll see Dr. King or Malcolm and even Barack up there now. But you won't really hear too many instructors or people really talking about the real work that Fred and all of them did. As far as I experienced with him when I was getting the free breakfast from those brothers. But you're right in terms of they should, but it's really not promoted, that history, and in terms of their mission and all of the great things that they were able to accomplish. You really don't hear it.
Okay. And also you hear about Albert Lincoln. I will say this, and Martin Luther King having multiple wives.
The movie. Like, for real, that's the only person we got to hear is the movie.
I just added something to what he said. You be quiet. You voted for Tim Walz.
Well, brother, let me just say this to you. As a brother, I think you would be, it would be wise. When you look out in the world right now, both plantations are corporately run. And so you can slice it and dice it.
Oh, God. Stephen has that.
But at the end of the day, you're going to get pretty much.
That's a damn lie.
Until you start doing something for self, you never going to get out of this condition, ever.
Okay, so if Kamala Harris was the president right now, we would.
He didn't want her to be the president.
They're just dumb.
Oh, Lord, you did right. Divine name.
All of them again, right today, they would all vote for Donald Trump again, knowing that they going to war, knowing all of the bullshit they going to do.
Tampon Tim putting tampons in boy rest.
Them dumb niggas, that's why.
And you're educatedly dumb too.
So one question I have for black men, I mean, for all due respect, children are in school for a while. They have math, science, history, English, specials, and all this stuff. Government, all types of stuff. Why is it that when we have these conversations, people absolve themselves of the responsibility of continuing their black children's education at home? So you're saying that they don't teach Fred Hampton the way they should. Okay, that's fair. So why don't the brothers teach? Now, I don't mean people our age and older, but why aren't people teaching their children these things? To complement what's being taught in school, to serve as a correct. Somebody's off mute. Pastor's always off mute.
Great question. I'm listening.
Why don't they do it as a corrective? And what happens when you get these conservatives in office? They're taking away even the basic history that you said they teach too much. Let me give you an example. In Florida, they got rid of a Roberto Clemente biography, the baseball player. They couldn't tell the Rosa Parks story. The Trump administration is getting rid of, wanted to change the placards in the Medgar Evers house. They want to take the Tuskegee Airmen off the Defense Department. They want to get rid of the mention of slavery in there. I understand Democrats are terrible. At least they don't do that.
Well, you know what? I
That's
agree.
what that's the last. That's gonna be the last one for me. I can't keep doing it.
I understand the history of it, and you're correct. They should, and our men like me, I'm 48. We supposed to go into neighborhoods and pick up where the education system don't let up, where it has failed us. But the problem is the parents or the mother or the father, basically the mother, you can't tell kids anything. They got phones, they not listening. It is really a shame when they miss the bus.
Making excuses all the motherfucking time. That's the damn
It's
problem.
not. I'm telling you,
You're supposed to be a 48-year-old man. All you can do is come up with it's the women's fault. You're a bitch.
The system. They took it out the system. That has nothing to do with it. The system they took it out of. Hello?
Well, brother,
He can't even parent. He's worried about a phone. If you can't control the least of the issue in your house is if your kid is on the phone or not, bro, you got some situations, okay?
So you not
Because that's
paying
your
attention
house,
to the rest
that's
of the
your
world.
phone. That's your house, and that's your phone. You're paying for it, and you have no control over it. You guys, it's astounding, okay?
Does she understand
Bam, let me
work
ask you
every day?
Hold on, the movie.
No, Negro, I'm on the welfare system. I don't know nothing about working. And even if I was working or not, okay, I still pay the fucking bills in my house. Ain't no kid gonna tell me what to fucking do. What do you mean you working? Like we all don't work. I
You're
don't
not
know
the
shit
same
every
person.
fucking day. No, I'm just, can I address it? Can I address it or no?
You shouldn't.
You can jump back on it. It's just sometimes Brooklyn, that stuff like that, you like fly, like we working, it's the system's problem. We just, all these fucking excuses coming out of people's mouths. It's just,
well, we definitely have a broken. I agree with you.
go ahead.
There's a broken system, but it doesn't mean that it should keep us from doing the right thing when it comes to the community. And we can be here all day talking about broken homes and et cetera, because it's real. But going back to what brother was talking about, in terms of, I think we should do what we need to do to make sure our children are re-educated. And where the school system, and I worked for the school systems, and where they fail, we have to pick up, we have to be mentors, we have to be motivators, and we have to be present, at least in somebody's life, if not your family, at the end of the day. So that's where it starts. That's the real elephant in the room, is just what people are doing right now to make a difference, regardless if the system falls apart. What are you doing to make a difference?
But the thing is, you're also helping the system fall apart. When you say things like, oh, it doesn't matter which plantation we go with. That is also a big part of the problem.
But
That's not the truth. And for you to keep, okay, you've already admitted that there are some policies that are being supported by one side that hurt us much more than others. So it's not the same. And continuing to perpetuate, oh, it's the same, doesn't matter, is part of the problem. You're hurting us. You're hurting Black people. That's what you're doing by spreading that.
Well,
yes, you are. You're
totally
not being
disagree.
that man that is standing up for the community. You are hurting us. You're tearing us apart by spreading a lie.
Ma'am, you have no idea what
I know exactly what I'm saying.
So what I said is a fact. What I said is a fact. It is a fact. You can get emotionally bent out of shape, but it is the truth. No, it doesn't matter, B. I'm telling you that when you look at guess what? Well, you can go right ahead. Do whatever you want to do.
So the thing is, the fruit of your lips show how ignorant and how befuddled you are when it comes down to you speaking for the Black community. You sit here and you want to berate women and say, oh, it's the women's fault because the kids aren't being taught.
I never said that. I never said that.
Sir!
I never said nothing about women, so stop it.
That was the movie. That was the movie.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I was talking to who's that person speaking?
It's another a gentleman that appears to be a Muslim gentleman.
Ignorant nigga. Go ahead.
Well, see that kind of disrespect. I mean, we can have a conversation and agree to disagree, but the call me a nigga is stupid.
Let her
I didn't
speak.
call you an NID.
No, I'm talking about the dumb chick there.
Let her speak. Mute up.
King, it ain't worth having this type of conversation, fam. Women ain't gonna never be wrong, bro.
Oh, be not.
Especially Brooklyn, she's still in here.
Let her speak. Let her speak.
Mr. Speak, I didn't hear your claim. I just heard somebody put in there that it was the women's fault, and that's what I was responding to. But y'all kind of sounded like y'all voices, and maybe it's my audio. So I'll take the blame for that. It's my fault. I didn't hear what you were saying.
First Lady, he was saying that the two plantations, being the Republicans and the Democrats, is the same outcome. He was on it.
I gave an analogy, and it's okay, but let me make this point. We can agree to disagree, and the reason I said that, look, politics without economics is symbol without substance. And when you realize, I get it. You can have some people in the office, and they might move the needle here and there, but we got some real external problems or internal problems. Regardless, we cannot continue to wait and rely on any party until we fix and have a code of conduct in our community. Let me just finish, but let me finish, because at the end of the day, when you've been doing this work, and I've been blessed to have a body of work involved with the youth every single day. I don't care who in office, I still need to do what I need to do to be present and to be accountable to make a difference. That's what's missing. We cannot just rely on that. And if it goes away, what are you going to do? You going to sit around and just keep crying, or are you going to get up and do something for yourself?
So, Speaker, like, what you do with women, like certain type of women,
Honestly, we're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that right now. Come on. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, so I honestly, we can get into in a second. Speaker, so you said economics, and then you tied into some cultural stuff. So let's just focus on the economic piece. You said economics is more important than the politics. Okay, got it. So what do you say to all the Black people, or the large portion of Black people that lost their jobs as a result of the Trump administration's policies during this election cycle? You know, so like I said, when the government shut down, we got the TSA workers leaving, Trump's the executive orders and some of the other things that he's passed that has raised Black unemployment. So what do you have to say to that? So now our economics is impacted. So what are we doing? What do we do now? The people are losing their jobs, things are becoming unaffordable, but you're still harping on both of the plantations. I'm still not really understanding how the math is working. So can you explain that?
Yes, sir. Bro, just what I'm saying is this, that, one might be, the lesser, I get it, of the evils, and I believe I'm not a supporter whatsoever of Mr. Trump, period. But I think it's forcing us to get back to our excellence. And I get it. People lose their jobs because of some order that Mr. Trump or law or some foolishness policy that he places. Yeah, but when are we going to, and I just said politics without economics is symbol without substance. You might need some of that, but when you look at who really controls this economy and the percentage of jobs that come from, the government and et cetera, but it's still, we've been derelict in our duty as a community, as a people, to do what we have to do to fight this thing a little more strategic.
So how are the people supposed to fight the system without jobs? You still haven't really explained the economics piece. Like I hear what you're saying.
Resources.
What resources? What resources if they don't have jobs to acquire resources? Are you talking about starting businesses? Like you're not giving me
all of that. Well, look, first of all, supporting what we do have and starting what we don't have. And until we get off the breast of this government, we're going to have these conversations forever. We're never going to have true equality, freedom, and justice. This thing was not designed for that. And we keep looking for a mystery God to fix it. We've been struggling. Jobs are one thing, but we get complacent, with that. And then we stop doing what's necessary to build back up our family, to back up our community. And then soon as somebody else, the benevolent whoever, gets in office, it can flip here, flip there, blue or red. We are not in position to our own goddamn.
Can I ask a quick question, y'all?
Yeah, I see where this is going.
Can I ask a quick question?
Ben, there's something y'all can have, but I'm good.
Ben, can I ask a quick question before you go back in?
I think he's done. I think he asked the question.
Yeah, he said go ahead, son.
My question is, do you think that these multimillionaires, now they already have the economics, do you think that they're around telling their units, don't, and they got money. I mean, they got resources upon resources for generations. Do you think they're telling their units, it doesn't matter who you vote for? Or are they saying, no, vote for these people that are going to lower our taxes, which is a type of welfare, right? Are they voting for these people who are going to change the policies, allow us to keep more of our money and deregulate, have to do this and that, which costs us money? Like, why are you telling our people, don't worry about it? Don't worry about the politics of it, because we got to get our economics together first. It's not, we can't get our economics together because we don't have the policies in place. And the people that do have the money keep getting their people in and making policies that make it impossible for you to get forward. It's not about welfare and the benevolent. Like, why can you not see that?
Well, Sonny, I think you're right in one sense, but what I'm saying is, look, there are people who tell them what, because they have power. And voting might have power, but behind closed doors is those folks who really tell them, and those are the folks who have more power, not just with votes, but economically. I agree that if locally and even nationally, you want to put somebody in that is friendly when it comes to taxes, when it comes to inflation, etc. So you don't have a disagreement, but if that don't happen and if folks didn't vote and however, we still need to have an alternative.
If voting didn't matter, they would not be so desperate to stop our counting, to keep us from voting. If it didn't matter, we wouldn't be going through all these things. It does matter. And telling people that, it's just one side or the other coin is not good for us.
But here, when it comes to policies and when it comes to what has, occurred as a result of just voting, not your interest, when it not intelligently being at the tables and making sure that not just our Black agenda, but what's really in the best interest of us being able to have a little more juice where it revolves back into the family, it revolves back into the community. So I'm not going to disagree, but we need balance when it comes to politics. We just got to have more balance.
Okay, I'm getting going to a dead zone. I get what you're saying, right? But I don't know how that is beneficial for the time and space that we're in today. Like, those are kind of
First Lady, you went to the dead space.
Break it up.
Yeah, give me a little break.
and the something. Can you hear me? Did I break up?
Just bring us back. We can hear you now a little bit.
Yeah, he was in a dead space. So I want to respond to something that you said, the specifics that I'm going to pull out. So, Brother Gregory, are you familiar with the sisters who had a thing called the Fearless Fund, where they were giving out grants to Black entrepreneurs to start businesses? And it was for people, and it was group
Hello?
economics. All right.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was first lady coming out the matrix.
She was in the matrix.
Well,
Are you familiar with the Fearless Fund?
no, sir, I'm not.
Okay, so there was a group of young, beautiful sisters who had started a thing they called the Fearless Fund, and they were giving out money, group economics, to Black startups and entrepreneurs. It wasn't a ton of money. I think it was 15, 20,000. It was less, 50 or less, but it was giving a nice seed to Black entrepreneurs. Do you know they had to shut down? Do you know why they shut down?
No, sir.
Because Republican judges, through Republican politicians put in place by Republican interests, told them that it was illegal. So some of the very I can give you a whole list of examples. Do you know they're now suing the Congressional Black Caucus that they can no longer give scholarships to Black students? Did you hear about that, Brother Gregory?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're telling me, and I'm gonna get to the larger point. You say that politics without economics is symbol or sign without substance. The problem is in America, economics has flowed from and because of politics. And what you do, and people like you guys, when you guys think like this, is you separate them. The American government built the white middle class in the 20th century. I don't care what anybody says. I know that for a fact. I can break it down with the big boys. You can't expect people to do things that they're no longer allowed to do because of the politics. So it's not that the Democrats are going to come in and give people a bunch of money, but the Republicans have now made it where you can't even give scholarships to Black students. Did you hear that the Trump administration is suing UCLA because they said they admitted too many Black students into the law school? Did you hear about that? I mean, not law school, the medical school. You want us to give up politics, but have resources. But the ways in which you get, mete out, distribute, and grow resources as a people, the Republicans are telling us we can't do. You actually can't disarticulate them. When white people got their money in America, the middle class, it was all because of housing. That's how they kept Black people out of wealth in the 20th century. It's because of housing, blockbusting, redlining, levee towns. You can't fix a policy problem through grit and determination. As a group of people who are 10% of the population, 12% of the population, whose average wealth in cities like Boston is $8, Atlanta $1,000, Chicago $1,000. Y'all keep saying pull these resources like Dr. Claude Henderson always says. My question always is, what resources? What resources? The Asians that do it in America are resources. They're using resources from India, from China. They have special banks set up with foreign capital to do these things. The Negro doesn't have a foreign bank because we're American. Ironically enough, the Asians in America who have money come from those other countries. The Asians in America who've been here the longest, I call them ancestral Asians, they're poorer than Black people. Those are the Vietnamese down in the Asians down in Louisiana. They're dirt poor. So it's not all the Asians. So we have to actually be a little bit more sophisticated and not just say pull our resources. When we try to pull the resources, they don't let us.
Well, that's right, Rob. Well, let me just say this real quick, and then I'm done. Well, thank you, Van, for that. And I know where First Lady was going. I wouldn't disagree with that, and I do support it. Remember, I said the balance, and I know First Lady. And I hope you're in a clear area because I get it. You know, in terms of a time like this, and you're right. And Dan is 100% correct in terms of when you see what has eroded from this administration, et cetera, but the response to it is like get them out of office and put some other people in office, fine. But then if they come back and then they're in office, I'm just saying we need a balance. And I get it. We're absolutely, we've been at war, but it is more serious when it comes to inflation and survival and etc. I think there will be at some point, not that I am at all recommending it and hoping it, in terms of civil unrest or anarchy, but I think even those people who are with the mega, that crap, I think even some of them are suffering it, but they hate us so much, they still in that party. So I wouldn't disagree with you, and I appreciate your well thought out research, because you always do. That's just who you are. But I wanted to listen to what First Lady is right. Believe me, I'm here in Chicago, and I do. My friends, they are in office, and certain offices, a lot of them, very close to me that are in key positions, Democrats, etc. And we love each other, but I just know we need to be prepared for a day like this and a time like this with balance, because we still got to have the other stuff. We can talk about, the other stuff. Yeah, this it ain't just a boogeyman. You're right. They're doing some real wicked shit.
But can I ask you a question, Gregory? I don't mean to interrupt. Can I ask you a question? It's pertinent to what we're talking about. You are a staunch advocate for not voting. You say this on a number of occasions. Do you not?
I never said don't vote.
Sir, you do say
no.
You undermine voting on a regular basis.
No, but I've never said don't. I've always said.
Do you undermine voting, though?
Do I undermine it?
Yes.
No. If you follow anything on social media,
I'm not talking about social media with respect. I'm talking about
Clubhouse. But I'm just saying, you said and I'm telling you, I'm very, very vocal on the radio about it on social media, and I never have said one time out of my mouth that don't vote.
What is your position on voting, sir? I may have it incorrect. What is your position on voting?
My position, is that we vote our interests. We go with stronger demands. We just don't give away our vote and then go back to sleep. I have a problem with that. We've been doing that forever, and we have not moved the needle. We're just voting. That's my problem.
Yes, I'd like to say this to ban. I wasn't actually pointing my submission as an answer, if you don't mind, sir.
Yes, I believe you did cut across to get your point in. You found this point on voting. Do you have a continuous? Go ahead.
No, never mind, sir.
Yes, as I was finna say, sir, to Dan's point, and the given the backdrop, and to Speaker Gregory, I'd like to say assalamu alaikum, and peace be unto you and your family. And to the point is the backdrop or the backdrop of Stephen A. Smith. We've been having a dialogue all afternoon on his position to say vote Republican, and for once to invite all the black people to do that. There's been most of the controversy then as honestly came aboard, and the conversation went a different way. But to give you all the backdrop, honesty, and Speaker Gregory and those that came in a little later in the conversation on Stephen A. Smith, again, more of a physical conservative, as he's got money. His apartment views abroad. He has a lot of money. He's given back some, etc. But he invited to vote all Republican. And then the truth has been brought out that the Republican has not yield in the way of the community and not given anything in the way of some substance. For an example, the Democrat gave in a way of bringing up a congressional black caucus, which is my point. And the GOP or the Republican has not yield from, I guess, Ronald Reagan to this hour. They have not done anything favorable for we the people. In other words, they vote down everything. And you can bet as much as Republicans debate with each other, at the end of the day, the final vote will be against you and it will be against me as far as going in our museums to offer the history. I know precisely. I've been around here. I have a big point to land on that I just don't believe the GOP is going to yield for the Republicans. As in this history, from Bush has been totally against the black community. And the person of J.C. Watts, in the person of Armstrong Williams, in the person of those Nigel Ennis, other staunch Republicans, in the person of Michael Steele, again, in the person of Colin Powell, who were staunch Republicans, staunch GOP, and they were used and they became disposable in our land right there on a disposable Republican.
So, Brother Gregory,
Yes.
So, Brother Gregory, what does throwing away our vote look like?
Well, it looks like when we put demands on, regardless, the Democrats or the Republicans, that there's some specific things that we want signed, like right away, executive stuff that we know will help move the needle, not just symbolic stuff like we got them in there, but some real demands in terms of the family. We need
healthcare, like healthcare, education, jobs. You just know that those are fundamental. Fundamental platforms of one party and not the other.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why would we be throwing our votes away if we're voting with that party, the one that's advocating for jobs, education, healthcare, which are platforms that all Americans, not just Black Americans, but more specifically, we're talking about Black Americans. Black Americans need and want and advocate for. So we vote for the party that advocates for that, or that supports us with that. How are we throwing away our vote?
Well, I think when we have to be extremely intentional when it comes to those areas that you mentioned, because when white people catch a cold, Black people get pneumonia.
Okay, so
we have to be sure.
You're straying. How does that impact? We're voting for the party who advocates for that. What else could we possibly do?
Do that change the complexity of the issues that you just
mentioned? You can't answer my question, brother. I'm asking.
Speaker, be honest.
I'm asking you a question. You're asking. Okay, so let me recap. We vote for Democrats primarily. Black folks do.
Right.
By your own admission, Black folk, the Democratic Party advocates for education, for jobs, and for health care. Those are just three things. We can go into a myriad of others, but those three things are very important to Black folks, are they not?
I totally agree.
Okay, so we vote for that party. So again, how are we throwing our votes away? And what more could we be doing to do that? Well, and let me be more specific. What more could we be doing in terms of the party to do that? Since your problem is throwing away the vote with the party, with people that are not helping us with our mission.
I think it's not being dependent on that. I agree, and with the platform, and it's been the platform for the most part of the Democrats in terms of health care, education, and some other opportunities. So I don't, and that's why I want to correct.
But can you be honest? Isn't it the social issues of the Democrats? That's why you don't want us to support.
No.
I said, honestly, it is the social issues that the Democrats support that you don't agree with. That's why you don't want us to support them.
Like what, Sonny?
Like gay rights, for instance. Be honest. That is those are your issues. That's why you don't want to give on.
But no, let me be honest. Thank you, Sonny. And I love you for that. I don't agree with the transgender thing. I don't. Being very honest, I don't think young men should be competing with girls in sports. I have a problem with that. I do have a problem with some of the things. I had a problem with some of the with the Democrats, some of the when it came to foreign policy, some of the stuff that they were doing. But I don't say vote for this one versus that one. But I do have a problem with that. But I don't, Brother Quinn, promote. My family, they all vote. My children, they vote. And so I'm not stuck in a time zone. I just have a feeling, and Sonny said it 100% right. Some of the social stuff, girl, you are 100% correct.
but I don't promote, that you go over on this side, because then what Brother Quinn is laying down are facts, but that's me,
I'm confused because I think you're talking too much. But okay, you think, okay, now we've gotten the air clear, and we still don't know what he's talking about. I mean, I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. We can settle this 50 minutes ago.
But
Well, maybe you can win them over. They value men's voices more.
What'd you say, Sonny?
You value men's voices more.
No, I'd say this, and we can agree to disagree, and I will continue to do what I do to try to make a difference. But believe me, I know that in spite of all of the things that we disagree on, there are many things that we agree on when it comes to making a difference in the community, and even with the pressure that we see happening out here now, what are we doing? And I know for me, when it comes to violence, when it comes to mentoring, when it comes to family and the community code, that's a big deal for me. And regardless, I am going to continue that work by the grace and the mercy and the blessings of God, period. I don't care who in office. I'm still going to do that.
Here's the issue I have. You just had an exchange with Brother Ben just a few minutes ago, and you were very, very, you were being very demonstrative about your position about helping Black folks and about Black folks being self-sufficient, being independent. But when he gave you the example of the Fearless Fund, which I'm not very politically astute, all the time. I even know about the Fearless Fund.
Yeah.
I know how it's impacting Black folks and what is happening in terms of the Republican Party, and they're advocating for the legislation so that we can't be able to do those kinds of things. But for someone as invested as you are, you actually don't know those things. Now, I give you credit for admitting it, because most people on this app wouldn't even admit it. So I'll give you that credit. But you don't know those things, but you're so vehement about your position without actually understanding some very fundamental things. So I would encourage you to do a deeper dive on some of these things, if that's in fact what you stand for and what you advocate for. But in terms of the information, it lacks, and it's hurting us.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. In that particular lane, Brother Quinn, those who definitely rely on that piece of money, and there's others who are doing it and finding other ways to stay afloat. And that's, my point is that regardless of knowing that, because there are a lot of other areas that are defunded and etc. But it does not at all take away from whatever it is that you might not know, but it is what you know, and what
you're rambling now.
No, I'm not rambling. But let me just finish this point, because it's not rambling, because I'm telling you straight up, by not even knowing that has nothing to do with a lot of people who don't benefit from that. There are some people who are advocating and fighting.
I wasn't giving you the example to tell you about specifically the Fearless Fund. The Fearless Fund was an example of the economic challenges that we're having in relation to politics. So his point is that they're also taking away the opportunity to be economically free.
We have to tell ourselves, let me ask you a question. We tapped into our economic power.
Sir,
No. Have we tapped into our economic power?
So yes, we have tapped into our economic power.
That's not true.
It is that we may not have done so to our fullest capability, but we have tapped into our economic power, sir.
Collectively, Black people. So again, how you should be. Collectively, do we own the mom and pop store in our neighborhood? Collectively, do we own the hair place? Collectively, are we doing the nail? We live in colonies, man. Stop just going along to get along.
But Speed, can I just say this? Can I interrupt for this? But that was the purpose of the Fearless Fund. That was coming from other resources from the government. But then the Republicans stepped in and said, no, we don't want you to do that. And then went to court for it to limit it.
But Sherry, can I ask you this?
No, because I wasn't done.
Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am.
I wasn't done.
I'm sorry.
And here's the thing, because you are not listening. You didn't listen to Dan, and you didn't listen to Quinn. And then all I hear 11 times is balance. I have no idea what that means. You are ignoring what they are telling you. You're not even listening to be a part of the conversation. Because that was one way. They are telling you without the political peace, there is no economic freedom without it. So you do need both. And please don't say balance. And now I'm done.
Can the black church, the same money that you just that was mentioned about that freedom fund or whatever you call it, could the black church give the black folks that same money?
No.
So the money's not from the government, Sherry. It was private monies.
Oh yeah. Did I say that? I thought I said that. If I did, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But my question
You're not
is,
listening, Greg. You're not listening. They ruled that money specifically for black people, the way you want at an institutional level, is unconstitutional. That's why they're now going after scholarships from places like the CBC. This is why they went after at Northern Illinois University. They had a special program for black men. Duke University used to give free tuition to black students. They had to stop it. Literally. Lots of places did. That's what I'm saying. Let's come on, y'all. Let's start with the banging and the meta. Let's look at some information now as opposed to the rhetoric. It's kind of uninteresting at this point. We've been banging for like 5 years. There were because of Republicans taking power and putting their judges in, the kinds of things that you want, they're deeming unconstitutional. That's the point. Secondly, I don't know what it means to live in colonies. That's another thing. Thirdly, you can own every nail shop. There's no power in nail shops. There's very little money in that. Like, very little. And even if you did want to do it, the way somebody said, you couldn't do it because the government is ruling these things are unconstitutional. The CBC can't give out scholarships. I know we don't like the CBC, but they're just giving out scholarships. They're now in court to give out scholarships. There was a med school program for black men in Alabama, I believe it was, at UAB, I think it was. They cut it. Did you see the assault on DEI? It wasn't just like giving black ladies government jobs. It was like the programs, free tuition for black people. The government is suing the New York Times for discrimination against a white man. Do you know that, Brother Gregory? They said the New York Times, this is Trump's government, said the New York Times did it. Discriminated against a white man. Come on, man, let's get the conversation. Somebody says we sound like a plantation, so we're going to bring the brother up. I don't know what it means to be in a plantation, but we'll see what the brother, of course he can't come up. We're on the plantation, he must be in the house sucking dick. Who wants to go next to me?
So this particular, what was it called? Freedom? What we were talking? What's the name of it?
I don't know. This guy says, Speaker Gregory Scribble, stay on the plane. Yeah, we outside. You inside giving hand jobs to boss and other slave owners and overseers. You can't even come on stage and speak.
The Freedom Fund.
It's called the Freedom Fund.
So
hold on. So Ron Trippenor said I had a dumb response. Well, listen. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut off the chat.
Cut the chat.
To tell me my responses are done. So we'll just cut the chat because we got a lot of chat warriors that don't want to go to BAN. So we'll cut the chat since my response. So tell me my response. Why my response was done, Ron Trippenor. What am I going to do?
Just a couple of
Uncle, please be quiet 1 second.
Mike, on you, bro.
I'm here. I just said the response was dumb. I have a right to that response.
No, okay. I mean, what it was dumb.
You didn't have to suggest a homosexual thing. Come on, man.
You meant that. I thought you meant my substantive response. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When people talk about we're on plantations, I'm not on a plantation. I'm saying that I like the fearless fun. I like the
You
sisters
saying
giving
you
up.
are on the plantation?
I'm not. So
Maybe
I
not
made
you.
the social. 1 second, sir. So when he said I was on a plantation, right? So I came back with the sexual joke. So slavery jokes for black people against black people, that's okay. But the gay jokes are too far. I understand. But the point is that's a joke. But did you have anything substantive, or were you just responding to my joke? You responded to the joke.
Problem being on stage and engaging in the conversation.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Do you have a substantive response to whether or not black people should vote, or the fearless fun, or any of the topics? Let's get off the gay joke.
Okay, fine. I'll say this. Let people do what they're going to do. No one is right or wrong. If they want, let them vote. If they do not want to vote, don't let them vote. Whatever they say on why they don't want to vote or why they vote, I don't know why people go at odds at it. It literally makes no sense to me. This reminds me of about that saying that says that, I think it's from the Bible, a house divided amongst itself, it won't stand, it'll fall. And for some reason, left against right, left right against left. And y'all, it's almost like the two wings on the plane. If everybody could come together and find a way to work things out peacefully and reasonably, maybe we could stand together as a people and have more of a say on how the government does things instead of pointing the fingers like them Spider-Man memes where the two fingers are just pointing at each other.
Oh, give us an example of what that looks like. Give us an example. No. Let's just go back to what we already have been speaking about. He just spoke his part, and you got that part out. We listened to that. Now, can we actually deal with what we are talking about?